Zoom in, zoom out, nature journal number 5. The materials you will need are your journal, a pencil, your growth mindset, and an outdoor area or window with a view of the outdoors. Here are the directions step by step. Today you will investigate and draw an object in 3 scales. This tool will reveal how a shift in perspective can lead you to new understanding about the object or subject. You will draw your subject life size, you will zoom in and zoom out, and after you finish your journal, you will reflect on your new understanding. Step 1, life size. After you choose your subject, draw the view of your subject that is exactly life size. If the subject is larger than your page, draw only part of it. Draw your subject life size in the middle of your page, and then add written notes about what you notice at this distance. Remember to use the skills we've been learning about observing, noticing, including accurate information, words, numbers, and connections. I chose to draw my apple tree. In the sketch on the left, you'll notice I included the date and the location, and then I just sketched out the tree sort of from a distance and life size. I chose to include what I noticed at the bottom. So I noticed there were 3 main branches. I noticed the trunk has a hole near its base. Its bark is shades of gray and brown. The leaves are covering different smaller branches, and most of the apple blossoms had fallen off. Now my sketch has changed. The perspective changed from life size to zoom in, and I drew an arrow from the section that I zoomed in on, and I drew a big circle on my page to show the apple blossoms. Then I recorded what I noticed: smooth branches, clusters of 3 pink and white flowers, and dense green leaves. I added color to make it more interesting. Next, you will zoom in. Choose some part of your subject that you find interesting and zoom in to observe it in detail. Draw a circle around the part of your life-size drawing that you will zoom in. Draw a larger circle on the side of your paper to draw a magnified or close-up view of that part of the same area. Show details that are too small to be shown in the life-size picture. Include notes about your observations and questions. I'd like to point out that I added some words to my sketch and I added more specific colors. So as I zoom in, I notice there's a group of 3 flowers, the branch is a silvery gray, and the petals are light pink. Next, you will zoom out. So from a distance, step back and make a final sketch. This time, zoom out and include some of its environment. You could show the side view of the subject or a small map of its overall shape and where it is in the environment. Write notes and questions about what you notice at this scale. I've included different stages of my journal here. You can see that I added the zoom out sketch at the top of my journal page, and I record what I notice from this perspective, that the trees provided shade for the other plants and most of the branches are stretching straight up. I added a question: when will the apples begin to grow? You'll also notice that my journal has words and numbers and questions and sketches all over it, covering the whole page. I've drawn boxes around titles that I want to remember or things that I want to stand out. And then the last thing I did was add some color to it. Now it is your turn to zoom in and zoom out. When you finish, reflect on your journal. What kinds of details do you notice when close up? How does shifting your perspective on something change the way you think about it? How could you use this zoom in and zoom out approach in other journal entries? You can record your reflection in your journal, or you can just share it in a conversation with a grown-up.